Awesome. Well, we will get started. I am going to give a very clear agenda, and just so everyone is here, what I'm about to give is the agenda. I don't know if you all heard, but I was told that I do not give agendas on the calls, so I'm going to be very clear every call now. Um, the outline for the call today, we are going to go over some updates about the European tour. Um, and then most of the call will be a kind of marketing call. If you are in at the US event, you kind of got a taste of this. But Marty is going to lead on some of the trainings that we do in office for our marketing team on marketing strategies, techniques, and kind of goals that you all as ambassadors can take from this call and use them kind of out in the field as you all are talking to friends, to customers, or to strangers at events. And so our goal today is that you will leave with a task to do that will help you grow your business. So there will be a little bit of a homework. It actually is some homework that us at the office are also having to do. So you all are undergoing a very similar training as we are doing in at HQ here in Franklin. So that's kind of our outline today. Marty, Dylan, any updates? Did I miss anything?
No, I've
Um,
actually been out of the office so long, so I have no idea.
yeah, I think you have to emphasize the idea of RSVPing for the European trip because we got to make sure.
You're taking my housekeeping, Marty. There's an
Uh,
agenda and you're breaking the agenda.
it's on my mind. I can't get it off.
Claire, there is a video on the new website that's on Rumble. Clayton posted it on his Rumble. I will try to locate it once Marty takes over and post it here. Oh, well, yeah, that's the only update right now. He will be giving new updates once we are at a point where we can do that, but they're still working on it. So housekeeping. First thing, I wanted to remind everybody about the welcome back coupon. We had about 200 new customers signed up that have used the welcome back this month, but most of it are people in the US. So I just want to remind other countries that the welcome back coupon for $10 is still live. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Um, you all might have some other strategy over in Europe, but I just want to make sure you're not missing out on that because a lot of the people using it seem to be the US, UK. So I want to make sure everybody remembers that the welcome back coupon is still live until the end of the year. Other updates. We are at risk of some of the stops in the European tour having to be cut because of numbers. Um, just as a heads up, it is not Germany, it is not Switzerland, and it is not Kosovo. So if you all are in those areas, there are a ton of people going. It should be a lot of fun. If you are somebody who is located in Spain, in France, or in the UK, you need to get people to RSVP. When we were planning these, Dr. Ram and Clayton said that we needed close to 75 or 100 people at all stops. And I will be completely honest, France and the UK right now are under 10 people attending. And the truth is, it is not worth our flights and our hotels or Dr. Ram and Clayton's time to go to a location that only has 10 people. So if you are ambassadors or you have communities in France, Spain, or the UK, we need you all to do a lot more work to get people to attend. If you are in the Balkans, Germany, or Switzerland, you all have done amazing. Um,
Well,
I
can I
think
just point out something,
Switzerland
Kane?
might be one of the biggest biggest root events we've ever had. So Switzerland, good job. Yes, Dylan.
And so I don't know if this is the reason for it, but I do want to point out 2 weeks ago we noted who from HQ is going to go to these locations. I just want to point out we told our ambassadors I'm going to be at Kosovo, Switzerland, and Germany, and those three have excellent numbers. So good job, Team Dylan. who's going to see me on the trip. Team Duquesne for the rest of them. I don't know. We got to pick those up.
Yeah.
That's really, really.
Thanks for that, Dylan. That was very kind for you.
You're welcome.
And then the last thing I wanted to remind people is that if you are an ambassador who is looking for ways to grow and you have a new, customer group you want to talk to or new businesses you want us to talk with, um, we would love for you all to reach out to HQ and have us assist you if you need help. We still have not had many people from the EU kind of area take advantage of this. I do have a call with Katja coming up later this week if she is on here. But we really have only had people in the UK and the US take advantage of this. But we would love to hop on a call if you all have, 20 new customers. We would love to hop on and, do a fun contest or just give a quick talk or lesson. So we would love to do that. Please take advantage. Dylan, I know you've done a lot more of these than I have. Anything to add there?
Oh, so first off, I want to say kind of not a warning, but like we're here to help you grow as ambassadors. We're not here to do 100% of the work of telling people what the products are, the mission, the vision, and then telling them the comp plan. We're here after you've already made your introductions to tell them the HQ side of the story. And it helps immensely to get people to understand, oh, this is a real company that has the operations team, Duquesne, Marty with finance and marketing, and to tell them our side of what it looks like. And it really does help grow. But what we can't do, since we just have so much going on, is have you send someone's email or WhatsApp over to us and come to find out they've had nothing been told to them. Because that's not what our jobs are. But that's the only warning I want to give. I do want to reiterate, we are actually more than happy to hop on calls together with the ambassadors to grow y'all's communities.
So that is all I have. Any questions on the European trip, the welcome back coupon, or setting up meetings with us? I'm gonna private message Amy. Awesome. I don't think there is anything. So I am gonna.
Lucas is getting his workout in to be ready for Munich.
He is.
Weren't you just in office? Where?
What?
I just saw you about 2 seconds ago in the office. Now you're in the car.
You did? Yeah, I'm on 0N. I move quickly.
Well, this is exciting because Clayton will definitely have some things to add. And Clayton, I don't know if you had heard us, but Marty has taken the lead today on how ambassadors can use different marketing strategies, kind of like what you were pointing out on our HQ group chat over the weekend. And so Marty is going to take over from here and go over different marketing strategies.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Duquesne. So a lot of the US people who we had the event, a lot of you guys who were here kind of heard some of these ideas, and we worked together, me, John, Joy, our creative director. We all sat down in a room, we all hashed out ideas. We also feed off of Clayton. Clayton is the marketing guru when it comes to the business. So what he comes up with a lot of ideas that we kind of just feed off of too. But we I think all collectively work hard to make sure marketing works the best it does. And one thing about marketing is it has to change. You have to keep moving forward with different ideas. We're going to talk a little bit about the social media film idea when it comes to marketing, where you can put it on your Facebook or your Instagram. And I know a lot of you are probably going to look at me and like, I don't like to be on camera. I don't want to do this, but this is the one way to sell yourself and to show people that you're trustworthy, you have value, you're authentic. And those are the keys, I think, to selling any product is someone has to trust the person they're getting it from. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about. Nick, I'm going to use you just for an example, just for a quick second, Nick Mandel, because I saw a video of Nick And Nick did a video this weekend, and the reason I'm bringing it up is one thing that he does well, and this is one thing we're going to talk about, is he makes the camera or his phone the person that he's talking to. Instead of just talking about a product, showing a picture of a product, saying this product so and so, he's actually selling to an imaginary person on the other side of that phone. And I think that's one thing that we try to do here. We try to sell it. Clayton does a great job of that. He talks to the phone like it's someone who's trying to sell to instead of just showcasing a product, saying, hey, this product does this and this, but he presents it like there's a person on the other side of the phone. We're going to get into what we're doing in HQ, and I'm going to actually share two documents with you, one in English, one in German, that we're going to follow. Maybe you guys want to follow along with us. I'm going to create a Dropbox for you later. You guys can drop in videos that you create if you want, and we can give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. A couple of the things that we talked about when we first did this was trying to be authentic.
Can I pause real quick too? Because I do want to call on Nick if he's in a place where he can talk. He might not be. I saw him talking with somebody. But I do want to.
What's up?
Hey, Nick. I do want to share. Nick, when you are making your videos, though, I do want to point out, are you making a video where you are actually trying to sell stuff, or are you just sharing what you are doing and having a conversation basically with your following? Because I think you do this really well. So I'm curious what your answer is here.
So it's more or less the second one. So I mean, the intent is obviously just kind of like a nonchalant plug in there, to really get them thinking about the concept. But they're gonna tell if you're hardcore selling them. It's like Marty said earlier, they're gonna buy from someone they know, like, and trust. So you're just being that and just trying to figure out how to plug that product in a little bit and different stuff on those lines. That's what we're doing with the art. That's what I'm doing with your guys' product and everything like that. So yeah, just talking to the camera and just like, because you gotta understand, like, people are looking at this stuff and like they're be scrolling through. They want something that's gonna catch their attention. They want to have a conversation. So if you're talking to them about how much this has helped you, it's only going to translate over to them. Did I answer your question there? I mean, that's realistically.
And that's perfect. And I love your content because at no point do I feel like I'm being like sold something. You're always just sharing like what you do in the day, or you're sharing, a piece of your art, or you're sharing a fun experience you had. And from that, it's such a great conversation starter, which I know that's one of the points Marty's going to have, is being authentic. But like Nick, if you do follow him on social media, he is always authentic, and he truly is just sharing, like, you're sharing your everyday life almost, Nick, and you're just having conversations with people who follow you, which I love.
Yeah, and then just knowing when you can kind of hop in there to kind of help them out any way you can, because you're not selling them if you're helping them. So just realistically, a transfer of belief, basically, at that point.
Well, and you are also lifting your left leg when you rotate on that 3-wood that you hit into the bushes. So you actually need to rotate. There. You need to rotate at your waist and your shoulders, not lift your leg to try to turn. That's why you didn't see where that ball went, because it went straight right. It was a bad slice. I'm not saying that I watch your videos, but I'm saying that I'm analyzing your swing.
Noted. All right. We got another one coming out, so we'll be a little better informed there.
Nick, I don't think that was the response you were hoping to get for it. That's what you just said.
You got his attention, though, didn't it? So.
It did. It did.
But the key part in what they're going over, and everybody has to understand this, because I've been getting so many messages over the last week, especially with our Europeans, of people complaining and saying, well, this person is promoting this product, and they're hurting you. You guys are each responsible for your own relationships, and people, as Marty was going over, Duquesne has hit on, and Nick was just making really clear, people buy from you. You guys are each an ambassador of a brand, and they're buying from you. So the more authentic you are in your experiences, the better response you're going to have with your prospective customers. But your greatest opportunity to be successful is still need, right? If you're not meeting with people and actually communicating what your passions are, if you just think social media and that's a business. As I walk into a restaurant here to go meet with Christina real quick, if you think that's how business is done, you're sadly mistaken.
Right.
Because it's whether you're doing something as an affiliate where
Everything is provided for you. And here's a piece of insight, because we've talked about this being a franchise model, because this is not MLM. If you own a franchise, say, I don't know, pick a burger joint, right? Or any restaurant that has a franchise model, and you own a franchise, you have one purpose: get customers. Because if you don't have people coming in your door to buy the products that you have in your restaurant, well, you're going to lose out. But you also have to understand that you probably don't want to have people come into your restaurant and then you start talking about the taco joint down the street or something else that you heard about, because you want to create the experience in your restaurant that people want to come back to. So if you start talking about a bunch of other stuff, people are not going to just leave you. They're going to go to the same restaurant that someone else owns the franchise to. They're not going to leave completely. They'll just go find somebody that they're more comfortable with. So you have to understand that our model and our approach to business is predicated on that. If you're not taking care of your customers, or if you're not taking care of ambassadors that are working with you, and you're, whether it's directly or indirectly, if you're creating an environment that is not conducive for them to be happy, they might not stay with you. They might leave. So, and that's not a decision that's made corporately. I've had many questions of people complaining, saying, well, this person is doing this or this person is doing that. It's our position. I don't like slavery. I don't like prostitution. And I will not control people. So we've created an environment that is controlled and dictated by the consumer, right? So your sole purpose as a brand ambassador, and you can look at the economics, because you make more money getting direct customers and helping those customers share. And that's the entire approach. The more customers you get, the more money you make. That's your focus. And then your job from there is providing a good experience for your customers and teaching them how to share. And then so on and so forth. But just know that your sole purpose is to create the stories, create the mechanism that allows people to know what you like, and then give them an opportunity to have a good experience. That is all I have.
And that is perfect. And that is exactly what we're talking about, is being, I'm glad he said it like that. The only person that you can control is yourself when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's the only thing you can do. The only thing you can do is, like, the reason we brought up Nick is because, like Nick said, and Duquesne brought it up, the fact he doesn't sit on there and say, I have a bottle of this, I don't want to sell that. That's never gonna sell the way you think it's gonna sell. What's gonna sell is your personality, who you are, your story, what you think, like, what do you feel like are the common objectives of a certain product? Those are the kind of things that you can figure out and sell. We had somebody at the US event who just became an ambassador. I can't remember her name, Duquesne. She was really new. Amber, yeah. And she sat there and she told us in the group, I don't have I have this issues. This is what I'm feeling. And so I went and started and I went back and forth, but I don't know how to sell or how to talk about it. And I stopped her and I said, I think some of you were there. I said, you just did. But you did it unscripted. You did it genuine. You did it the way you should do it, where I believed it. And I want to hear more about your story. And that's what I think it is when we talk about this. It's about creating a story. It's about addressing issues. It's about keeping things short. When it comes to videos, it has to be short, 60 to 90 seconds. You just want to get someone to listen to an idea or listen to it. And what happens is, when you create all these videos or social media ideas, or if you want to put them on Facebook, some people don't like to put them on social media. Some people, you can create a video and drop a short video of who you are and send it in an email and said, connect with me. You can do that on an email blast. You can put a video in there where they'll click on it and then they'll say, you want to find more information about who I am and what I believe in, or so-and-so. And then that's how they do it. Going out and selling, when you're dealing with marketing the way we do it, is we know that you might get 20 no's to 1 yes, but you never change your approach. Because what happens now, one thing about social media when we market this way, is you're going to have a bunch of videos that are always going to be sitting there now. So that you hit one that somebody likes and someone goes, hey, you know what? I'm really interested in this person. Then they start scrolling. Then they find out more information. And you're building a group and a connection about everybody else. When it deals with how do we market, how do we push out these events or these ideas to people that are already in our group? Well, we have to figure out different ways to approach it. We do that every single week here when we do our social media meeting. Every single week, we have to figure out what's a different way we can approach this. Because if we keep doing the same thing every single day, it's not going to change. It's not going to drag in anybody new. It's not going to provoke somebody who is already in the group but hasn't done anything to it. But we're going to find different ways to connect people and their stories. Marketing here, we'd go by seasons. We go by this. We're running into the fourth quarter right now. We're getting close to that. So we figure out, what are we going to start talking about? What are the big effects that are going on right now so we're dealing with over here, we're dealing with fall, we're dealing with allergies, we're dealing with skin issues. But we don't just do it this way. We take all of those and we compile them into all the products that we talk about. So like we talk about Bill and Coo. Bill and Coo is one of the things. Well, how do you talk about allergies with Bill and Coo? Well, over here with less rain, we were talking about it this morning. Well, dogs roll around in grass, cats do too. They get allergic reactions to the dry grass. So we have the products that we can use to help them defeat that thing. We
Okay.
have one, huh?
I'm gonna bug you. One, talk a little slower, maybe.
Got it.
You're doing the same thing I do, where I get into it and
I get excited. That's why. Yeah.
And two, I wanted to just add, this is not just something for social media, and this is
No.
one of the things we made a point of for the US ambassador event, and we will do the same when we hit up these European stops. Videos like this, or testimonies, or having a picture, or having a video of you taking a product, or having a short video that is your testimony. This is useful as well for when you talk with a person one-on-one, or when you're in a WhatsApp group. Because what you can do is, if you meet somebody new and they see you drinking a cup of coffee, you can say at the end of the conversation, hey, I actually have a short video about me talking about this coffee and why I like it. Would you mind if I send it to you? It's a great way to get their contact information, because once you get their contact information, that's a lead. And two, it will mean a lot more about you talking about the coffee than me, a person they have no idea who it is. Maybe later on, when they figure out who I am, you can send a video of me talking about it. But you talking about why you like a video so much more is a great way to connect with a person early on. So I don't want people to think this is only for social media. Marketing is how you can use these tools and these assets to just share these products to the market. The market can be through social media, or it can be people you meet at a coffee shop every day. Sorry, Marty. I just wanted to add that real quick.
No. Oh, Nick has a question, so we'll let Nick answer, and then we'll go right back into it.
Yeah, so on that, you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, damn it. Oh, here. Okay, this is better. So I've always ran a physical marketing company, so car wraps, billboards, all that kind of different stuff. So I was just thinking, like, I kind of mentioned something at the event to where basically, like, when I had a restaurant, I went through and just did like 10% off coupons. Like, obviously we can't do that with Root, obviously, but I went through and just put those on cars at Kroger, Walmart, whatever it may be. So like, even like this, like knowing where your ideal clients are at and just put like a little feeler out there, like you might land, maybe 10% of those, but that 10% is better than what you would have had before. So it's just trying to figure out a creative way on that, and like even just going to the gym or just going to, I don't know, just exactly figuring out what that clientele is that you're really targeting based off the products you're pushing, and just kind of doing just a typical guerrilla marketing campaign a little bit on those lines. So if
Right.
it's something off of social media, just a thought that I had. So I'll shut
Right.
up now. But yeah.
I think what I wanted to express more when it came to this idea of videos is it's not basically it's not always about putting it on social media as where it also becomes a training exercise for you. So it becomes like this idea where, like Duquesne kind of said, like, you're going to create this, and I'll explain to you what we're doing later at the end here about our 60-second sales videos, because that to us is a way to train each and every one of us as how to talk to somebody, how to break a conversation. So like, and Duquesne, that was a great idea. I didn't think about that, but that's a great idea. So you have all these videos in your repertoire, and you're sitting down with somebody and they're interested in something you're talking about. And so you can send them this video and say, hey, I just, or you can create that. You can create a video saying, hey, just met you today. Just wanted you to know this is who I am, and I'd love to connect some more. You can do that. It makes it more personable. But one thing Nick was saying is what we talked about too, that was coming up in the next on the list, is videos are not the only thing. We have QR codes now, which make it much, much easier for somebody to find you. We have email blasts, which are easy to do. But I'm also old school. Me and Nick were talking about this privately too. I'm old school where it comes to postcards or something you stick up a poster in a grocery store, something that directs people to you. It's just the idea of marketing is getting your name out as much as getting the Root brands out. It's getting your personality out, getting the person behind the Root brands, because you're trying to create somebody special besides the person next to you. I mean, we're all in this together. We're all finding certain ways to do it, but using marketing as a tool to create things is totally different. I'm going to share in the 2 documents, and I will go over what they are in a second. So in Office, Dr. Ram did something last time. I think you saw some of these some of the videos. She told us to make short videos on every product that we have. And some turned out fantastic. To be honest, some of them we just kind of rushed through, some didn't. Some people took a lot of quality time. We got rewarded for the quality that we decided to put into these. So that was the point of these videos. So what we decided now, she said, come up with another one. Well, we were talking because Duquesne and Dylan are really good at Dylan. I'm going to say not Duquesne, he is good, but Dylan is good at standing in front of people, directing information out and selling a product. Duquesne's really good at when it comes to selling Ram roast and give me back my youth. Like, he knows exactly those products. But so I was thinking, let's have a campaign where for 60 seconds, we create these sales campaigns. Each person in the office is going to use the phone as their client and present to that client, like, week 1 is going to be 0 in. So what are the talking points? One of the things I like to do, and I'm going to tell everybody in the office to do, come up with a question. Give yourself a question that what's a question that you commonly get? The products are too expensive. How do I know that this works? What's the backing on these? So if we follow those objectives, we can actually create videos corresponding to that. So the idea of what we're doing here in the office is, I'm going to give everybody this guide list. They're going to have every week, they're going to have to give me a product. So I gave them so it's 0 in, restore, and sculpt. We're going in these orders. And then they're going to have to create a 60-second sales slip about each one of those products. Did they pick one product that's actually, like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it for you guys too. Like, you can do a day in the life. You actually keep talking to somebody like a day in the life. You can try to break a myth up about our products or about nutraceuticals. You can try to, if someone asks, here's a question, is this really worth the investment? Is this product, let's say Sculpt, is it really worth the investment? That's your question. So you can put that on the screen, and then you can say, you come up with a sales pitch about that question. Yes, it really is worth the investment. And then you kind of go into that theory. How do I know that this product will work in my situation? Can I just think about it? That's a common one everybody gets. Can I just think about it? Well, of course you can just think about it, but what's your response? What's your sales pitch? I mean, how would you market yourself if someone said, can I think about it?
Can I
So-
clarify clarify a few things, Marty.
Sure.
So Marty is not telling you all that we're doing this so that you all can make use of this.
No.
Marty is telling you that this is homework. This is a job task that we are having to do at HQ. So this is a requirement that employees at the Root Brands have to do when they start. They have to make these videos so that they learn about the products, but also so that we have these to share out with our friends, family, or new contacts when we go to events. And so one of the first things you do at the Root Brands when you are an employee is you have to make a video either talking about a product, selling a product, sharing your testimony, or giving fun facts for every single product. And the reason we do this is so that employees ourselves can learn about the products in a fun way, but also so that we have something to share to others if conversations come up. And so the point of today's training is that Marty is telling you all that this is what we do, and it would be a useful tool for you all to potentially do as well for multiple reasons. One, you could learn about the products better yourself. Two, you can practice on how to pitch or talk about the products to others. Doing it on video makes it so it is easier to do when you're face to face with the person. When I was teaching, part of my going to school to be a teacher is they would make us video record ourselves giving a lesson before we did it in front of students because it was a great way to practice. Number three, if you are a community leader, if you have ambassadors underneath you and you kind of run a group, this would be a great thing for you all to copy and potentially use as well in your community as a fun contest or competition. Because like Marty said, that is how we used it in office. It's a competition. Whoever can make the best video gets a small prize. You all know that Christina and Clayton love giving out prizes. They do that in office as well. And number four, this is great content that you all can use as well. So not only are you bettering yourself, but you can use it on social media, in WhatsApp groups, when you talk with people one-on-one. So I'm just making sure you all understand this. Marty is
Right.
not sharing this, telling you all that we're doing this to help to do this for you all. This is homework that we have to do at HQ. To be employees at Root Brands, we have to do this. And he is letting you know that that's one of the reasons why we know the product so well. If you're curious why, Dylan, myself, Tiger know the product so well, Marty, John, it's because we do this activity. And so he is sharing with you all what this is.
I think, and that's a good point because I just saw one of the comments that we'll be sharing these in German. The point of these is not for you guys to actually use, because if the idea of marketing is to market yourself, and if you're just going to keep pushing videos of us and trying to get someone else to join on, I don't think that's the process. The process is, and we're going to use this idea of marketing, we're going to use this as becoming better at selling what we're selling. Because there might be some product that you've been trying to push to somebody for so many, maybe months, and it's just not going. Well, let's try to reevaluate why that is. And so what you do is you create these ideas or these questions, and then you figure out the answers. So it takes a lot. Like I'm not going to sit down here. I'm going to do the first one this weekend. I'm probably going to do 4 or 5 of them this weekend. But the idea is to become a better Root ambassador, for us, better employees, and better knowledge. But the idea, again, of you guys is to sell yourselves and use yourselves as that's where that personal connection comes in. That's why I brought up Nick when I saw his video this weekend. It's a personal connection. He wasn't selling anything, but I was interested in the person. I'm interested in the person already, Nick. It wasn't the one video, but it's the person that you're trying to present. It's not the flavor of the day. It's to sell yourselves and become better at what you do. And so that's why we do these kind of things. So I sent you 2 inside there. two documents that we're going to follow, but you can follow those. If you want to send us the video, send it to me, which is great. But then we can all give you like ideas or thoughts. But the idea is to figure it out for yourself. Use marketing as a marketing tool, not just like Nick said, not just videos. It could be anything else that suits you. You might be really good at creating marketing material.
Hey, Marty, can
Yeah.
I just so I've been working on the side here, but these can be fun too. I did probably about 5 to 10 videos a couple months ago, and all of them were turned down from being used with the company because they were so bad. I'm not sure how that was, but these are fun. Like I had one where I was outside in the dark with my now wife Branda, and she was carrying all the Ella Pure products in her hands, and I ran up behind her and pretended to rob her of the products. So it's just fun little quirky things you can do. Um,
Yeah, but you became a better salesperson now because of that video.
and I think everyone who watched that video became worse.
Right. Right. Could be. Suzanne has a question.
Roland, ich brauche. Na, also ich habe keine Frage, ich möchte euch eine Anregung geben, denn wir in der Dachregion in Europa haben ja die Herausforderung mit Teilaussagen und viele sind ängstlich, sich auf Social Media zu zeigen. Und ich sage erstmal danke, Marty, für den Impuls, dass es ja auch um uns geht, dass wir Verbindung aufbauen. Und wir haben jetzt seit dem Wochenende uns fest vorgenommen, auch für alle Partner in Deutschland, für alle Ambassadoren in Deutschland und in der deutschsprachigen Region, das zu trainieren, die Angst abzulegen, sich zu trauen, durch eigene kleine Testimonials in Zoom-Calls erstmal im Team zu üben, die Angst zu verlieren, dass wir uns lernen darzustellen. Ich habe vor 10 Jahren mit Facebook angefangen, ganz unprofessionell, bin heute auch nicht professionell, aber sich zu trauen, Fehler zu machen, die Dinge nach außen zu tragen, die mich bewegen, meine Geschichte, das ist das, was wir jetzt hier in Deutschland trainieren wollen, um einfach auch hier wieder diese Power reinzubekommen, ja, dass wir Menschen erreichen, die haben alle eine Geschichte und wollen eigene Geschichten erzählen. Das ist wie das Wartezimmer beim Arzt. Wir wollen darüber sprechen, wie es uns geht. Und so geht es auch den anderen Menschen. Und das trainieren wir jetzt. Und wir bieten das allen Partnern an, die wirklich auch sich trauen wollen. Schreibt mich gerne an. Wir wollen hier richtig Gas geben. Und danke, Marti, für euer Training. Ja, dass wir auch immer wieder ermuntert werden, rauszugehen, weil die Menschen da draußen suchen ja Lösungen. Und wir haben die Lösung mit Root. Danke an euch.
Thank you. That's a great response.
No, and thank you for that. And I want to bring up a topic on compliance because I think it is great. I know a lot of people over in Europe are worried about compliance and making claims, but these videos are not about making claims. So in the one above, I posted me talking about ROM roast, and it's just me making a pour over in the morning. And I posted that on my social media. I did not post all of my videos on social media, but I did post this pour over one. I make no claims in it. I just had just me doing something with the products. And that is useful because it's a conversation starter so people can reach out. And so if you choose to go forward and make videos like this, or if you choose to do a competition with your community or a fun contest, it doesn't have to be videos making claims. In a lot of the videos, it just is us listing facts about the products. And by facts, I just mean the ingredients. It can be a video you just saying, here's zero in and here's what's in it. You all go look up the ingredients and tell me your favorite ingredient. There's no claims there. And so I just wanted to reassure the European community with compliance, that doesn't mean you can't talk about products at all. It just means you can't make claims. I know this for a fact. I have a legal call with our US team and our European team every week. I spend an hour with each of them. I promise you, that is the law. You just can't make claims. But you making a video just reading ingredients, or you making a video just showing how you mix the ingredients together in a smoothie every day, there's nothing wrong with that. and you're not being salesy. You're just showing your normal morning routine. And this is kind of what Nick was saying at the start. It's a conversation starter because when people see you making a smoothie, they're going to ask, what did you put in that? That looks really yummy. And there you go. You DM that person and you start a conversation, or you in WhatsApp, you message that person individually and you start a one-on-one conversation.
Well, it's like if you, that's a good point, Duquesne. It's like if when we figure out how to market things, so let's just take one of our easy products, and I'm not saying that to downgrade Rom Roast. I'm saying coffee is super easy, all right? So we talk about fair trade. That's one of the things we push is fair trade. Well, all you have to do is go online and find out what fair trade is and why people enjoy coffee being fair trade because of the positive things that it does to the environment, to the people that are picking the beans. There's so many great aspects to it. And there's a lot of people that want to buy fair trade coffee because of what fair trade is. So you don't even have to talk about Rom Roast. You could just get on a video and talk about what is fair trade coffee. You could send out an email blast. What is fair trade coffee? And why is this so important?
Free coffee.
Right, exactly. But you can take bits and pieces. You don't have to go, I'm going to talk about every benefit of Rom Roast. You can pick out one thing that you just think is amazing. We all talk about how certified mold free. We talk about this is what we do at events when we talk about events. So people are like, well, what's the difference? Or 91 cup score. Well, a lot of people don't understand 91 cup score, but what you can explain to them when it comes to marketing is that 90% of the coffees on the shelf, 95%, I think it was, are 65% cup score and lower. There's your talking point. So you don't have to go, well, we're this and this. You're just going to say, this is what 91 cup score is. So explain it to them. Use your marketing tools as an explanation. This is what cup scores are. This is what fair trade is. This is why we don't grind our coffees. This is why we have our patented technique to clean our beans. And this is why. So you have to find and pick and choose marketing overall. Marketing should change for you guys all the time. Like you should always change. You can't talk about the same things in every video, on every email blast, on every WhatsApp, because what happens is people go numb to the fact of what you're saying. This is what goes back to is finding personality. Clay, I'm gonna use Clay as an example really quick. So Clay sells his personality. I'm not saying he doesn't sell the products. He sells his personality. People like to hear him. They think he's funny. They're captivated. You can say no, but they're captivated by you when you speak. So what he does though is that is how Clay uses marketing, and that's how he pulls you in. So he uses his personality to pull you in. Now, some of us don't have that marketing ability. We can't pull people in that way. Some of us are more of a compassionate individuals. Not saying you're not compassionate, Clay. That wasn't what I meant. What I meant was is use your strength, take your weaknesses and push them to the side, find your strengths. Or if you have a weakness when it comes to marketing, find out ways or fool around and find out ways to change that. But
No,
marketing,
let me retort on that. If you're awkward and you're uncomfortable, be awkward and uncomfortable.
yeah.
You know, here's the lesson in life. You learn through experience, right? If you watch someone who's a polished speaker, or if you want to use me as an example, I'll use me. I learned how to communicate, well, when I was 4 years old in the clinic, but being in front of people or just talking and repeating stuff and figuring out what my message is and the subjects that I'm interested in and what I have a passion about, right? And then being able to share that effectively. That's all. Like Mamie's doing right now. She's drinking her coffee in her rum roast mug, right? That's pretty much all she needs to do.
I will say you're wrong for the best training on how to get good at speaking, though. You should spend every day for 3 years locked in a room with 13-year-olds, and you get really good at it.
And that's why Duquesne knows that he'll take you out to the basketball court and beat on you too. But these are the things of just you have to find your voice. And if you listen to anything that goes on here, and you've listened to me recite my favorite quote from my favorite philosopher, you each are an imperfect piece to a perfect puzzle. Therefore, if you're not working to become your best piece, you're doing the entire puzzle a disservice. If you think that just sitting quietly is, away from everybody and not engaging in humanity is actually going to be of benefit because you think you're not important, you're wrong.
Each one of you guys is here for a reason, and you have to understand what that reason is. And you can use the gifts that you have to create the best marketing program for you instead of waiting for what Clayton's going to put up, what Christina's going to put up. Yes, those are valuable information, but to get someone to connect to you, you have to be you.
People don't buy from me. They don't buy from Christina. They buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they're also watching you in what you're doing. So while, my approach in many aspects is educational, confrontational, and a little bit incendiary. I do it intentionally because I'm also trying to spark debate or thought for a greater community, right? If you know, that's what I know I'm good at, right? Each of you should be listening to everything that we're talking about, like everything that Christina talks about, everything that Duquesne talks about, everything that you hear other people talking about, you should actually be rephrasing and using yourself. You can come across as an expert in the subject matters of all of this stuff really quickly because we've already put all the content out, and all you have to do is repeat it personally, not just sharing, oh, look at this video because they said this. Reconstruct it in your language, right? Say it your way, because people listen to you. You have followers in your community, right? Your friends, the people around you in your community, you have people that you're connected to on social media, you have people that you're connected to in social circles. They listen to you because they value you. They don't value me. They don't value Duquesne. They don't know him. They don't know me. They don't know Christina. They value you. Right? That's the key. That's why people on social media, from a marketing standpoint, are finding their voices. But it's also why in business, like I'll give you an example, Russell Brand, right? You guys probably know who Russell Brand is, right? You might have seen him on social media and seen some of this stuff. Russell has a problem because Russell doesn't have influence with his audience. He has a huge audience, but he's got very, very little influence. People watch him because they're entertaining in his eloquence or, the stuff that he's saying, but they don't really listen to him. And he's actually not authentic in his marketing message because he's not aligning with things that actually align with him that he's talking authentically about. That's the key to business and marketing in today's world. People don't want commercials. Have you guys heard of Whatnot? Whatnot's like one of and TikTok, right? These are two of the most dynamic sales channels in commerce today, because it's just people selling or talking about what they're passionate about and giving people an opportunity to buy it. It's what they're passionate about. That's all you guys need to do. Kids are making tons of money doing this, selling Pokemon cards and different things. We've got Lindsay's now working on selling Mercy Dupree clothing through there, and she's actually growing an audience, and we're doing that to teach her a couple lessons. One, that she can do that, but two, to test the theory so we can show you guys, hey, this works.
Right.
But it's just a matter of getting in touch with people. You can go to a farmer's market, you can go sit down with friends and have coffee, as long as it's rum roast.
Or you can drink rum roast and they cannot, and then you can compare how much better your coffee is to theirs.
There you go.
That, right?
I love that one.
Do a taste test. Have your friends come over to your house, charge them $10 so they sit down with you That way they don't have to go to a coffee shop and they have better coffee and a better experience.
Exactly.
I
Um,
see Martina's hand.
Yeah, that's all I have, Duquesne. So we can do some questions if you
And
want.
then I do want to show, maybe we can share your screen, Marty, and share an example of I shared some in the chat, but show an example of some of the goofy videos that people made just so they see.
Yeah, let me find those.
You're cool.
Martina, all you.
Yeah, I just like to say something to what Clayton said about value. The people value us. I wanna say something from my heart. That means being in this company, if the head, and this is Dr. Christina Ram, Clayton, you Duquesne, Marty, and I'm a little lost. I have a cold right now, but if the value and the standards wouldn't be coming from you, and this is something important, is the value you give to your community, to us. I've seen this over 5 years going through changes, but when it comes to a point where you feel kind of lost, um, it is so great to still be with a company where you feel that you're seen as a person, and the value that Dr. Christina Ram is putting real high, also Clayton, because I mean, and you, Duquesne, and everyone. I think that makes a company great, because you can only, if you're in a company with this value that you are given to your to us, right? Um, and then it makes something with us, and that's so important right now, because we live in really difficult times, in changing times. Things are changing. Is to focus on that, what is the beauty about life, and to keep it clean. And I really I love the photos from Nashville. I love to see everybody there. I'm very connected with a couple of the American ladies and the spirit there. And I think that's something that's coming up, coming back to Europe. So I just want to shout out a big thank you for everybody who reached out to me and to be in this company. And thank you very much. And so great what happened. My daughter started taking Restore. She loves it. And finally, my sister realized that she needs Zero In. I gave it for her to her son, but she said, well, I'm gonna try it. And then she said, I tried it now, and she has it there. I mean, she's been having it. And she said, I think I'll take it every day. I said, well done. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I just want to shout out a big thank you for everybody. Situation is still not perfect, but it's much better. And I just love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martina, and thank you for always being so kind.
Yeah.
Marty, do you have a video example?
Unfortunately, all I could find was mine.
I got mine. Wait a second.
Wait, hold on. I have my Zero In one. So,
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
all
I
right.
was gonna show my Restore one, so it's probably better that you share your Zero In one.
Yeah, let's just.
I do my Zero In commercial real quick while we load that for Marty. Oh, look, Marty's playing with bicycles.
Yeah, so watch. Wait. So this was Zero In.
Okay, real talk. Cycling is not just legs, it's focus. I started using Zero In, and wow, game changer. I'm sharper, more locked in. Even when I'm running on fumes, it's like my brain got a second wind before my quads did. Zero In, because sometimes your head
This is
needs
cool.
to boost more than your legs.
Marty, you look better on camera than you do on camera.
So so I just want to show you all that we had fun with it. It wasn't like a boring thing when we just sit in front of a camera and list facts. Although if you want to do that, you can. But what we would like to challenge you all is try to make your
So
own
funny.
video. Try to do your own, unique little, it can be just listing the ingredients. It could be sharing a testimony. It could be making a joke. I shared my natural barrier support video, and it's me sitting in a chair acting like I'm, what is the world's greatest man? What's that commercial from Marty
The
that
world's
I
greatest. Yeah, you are the.
or the world's most interesting man commercial that used to be big in the US. So, what we would challenge you all is pick a story, pick a product, pick something, and try to make a video. Challenge yourself to talk about the product and tell your story or talk about your favorite product. One, it will help you. Two, it's fun. It makes you have a smile to your face. And three, you'll end up using it at one point. You don't have to use it on social media right now. We're not saying that. Maybe one day you will. Maybe one day you'll send it in WhatsApp. Maybe one day you'll become famous on it. Who knows? And then Marty did pass the opportunity. If you want, you can send him the videos, I believe,
Yeah.
and we might end up posting it as long as it passes our compliance check. We might post it on our Root brand social media and tag you in case you all want us to do that, which is a fun little added benefit to do
But
it.
we also might learn something from you guys.
Yeah.
You might have some way of approaching it that we go, wow, that was superb. And we might say we might want to follow that idea. So there's so many ways you can do this when it comes to marketing.
Any last questions before we end? Or last comments from Clayton if there's no questions.
Did we share the patent deck last week?
You did share it. Do you want to share it again?
I don't know if let me see if I have it. So the big part, as Duquesne was mentioning, as far as claims and content and what you can say and can't say and shouldn't say, if you're one who's inclined to talk about science and such, is this gonna let me do it? Maybe I gotta pull this over here. Hold on, let me see if I do this and that, and then I do whoopsie daisies. Hold on here. That you can talk science, you can talk patents, you can talk intellectual property without actually making a claim because you're referencing something that's already been published and proven. And the intellectual property that Christina's created have been filed for to support the outcomes that are already done. Why is this not loading? Okay, I'm failing miserably here.
But the point is, though, we have given you guys, I mean, if you go to the patents, you have the #1.
You can go to drcpatents.com and you can reference everything on there as a conversation. That's the ellipse, and you can spell DRC patents correctly too. So if you go there, like if you wanted to talk science and you wanted to talk, I'm going to move my thingy over here again. So if you want to talk about subject matter, like I'm going to record some stuff here actually when we're done with this on some of the things I hear people talking on social media about MTHFR and glutathione and all these different things, because what's being talked about is untrue. People are saying incorrect things. And people are talking about ingredients, but no one's talking truth. No one's talking facts. No one's talking about outcomes. The only company that actually has real outcome data happens to be us. How do we know that? Because we have the patents filed on it. Like in America, many people are talking about autism and having kids that are in the autism spectrum. Well, I'm pretty confident we're the only company that actually has a patent already filed on the reversal of it. And you know what's cool? In that patent, which is on drcpatents.com, there's an outline of that patent. And it says that there's 2 products that are used in that protocol, and it outlines the ingredients. And it's amazing that if you look at that patent and those 2 products and those ingredient profiles, that is a perfect match to Clean Slate and Zero In. So you actually don't have to say that Clean Slate and Zero In will treat or cure any of that. But what you can say is, oh man, do you have kids that are in the spectrum? You got to check out, I found this patent that was filed in September that has this protocol that addresses these things. And you know what I learned? That these 2 formulas or these 2 products, you should get it. Here's a link. You should try this for your kids because it's worked for everyone else, which is why there's already intellectual property. Or, you know, are you slowing down mentally? Oh, you got to check this out. You know, so you can play with it different ways, right? Here in America, if you're not working on talking to businesses about having Section 125 and HSA and FSA plans where, you know, they can use their free money.
All right, Clay, I can wrap it up in 2 minutes because I'm late to a call and I'm the host right now and we're over our time.
So you have many opportunities. Be creative and ask questions if you need to.
Go out of your comfort zone.
Yep, and come see us because we're everywhere in the next 3 weeks. Kumbaya.
So Kane, so can you come now?
What?
No, it's still just Dylan. I have a family trip the first part of that month, which is why I won't be there. I will be with Kelly's family, but the second part, Dylan and I are switching. All right, bye you all.
Oktoberfest has never seen Dylan before.
Goodbye, everybody.